Hey everybody, this is Adam Broad of Liberationis, Reipublicae, coming to you from the Voluntary Virtues Network, brought to you by Michael Shanklin here in the office in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. How have you guys been this week? It's been an interesting 7 days, that's for sure. Having multiple concerts, having to deal with family on my end that I didn't really want to have to interact with, but that's another conversation for another time. Yeah, so yesterday, that was quite a day, wasn't it? You know, the whole Veterans Day hoopla, all of this bootlicking and all this love for the military-industrial complex, all this love for what makes us great as Americans, and the Denny's discounts to veterans and shit like that. God, just sickening. And this comes from somebody who comes from a military background, not myself. Obviously, I'm a fat guy. It's wouldn't have worked for me, and I fully understand that. My father was in the military. My grandfather on my mother's side was in the military. I'm fairly certain most of my father's side had been in the military at some point in time. So me not being willing to say thank you to veterans comes as a slap at the face at them, but they understand why I don't do it. Well, my father understands because, he never fought for my freedom. He never fought for anybody's freedom. He was a fucking airplane mechanic. And he always hates when people, thank him for his service. Because what the fuck did he do? He assisted people in blowing up and killing people who didn't do a goddamn thing to us. So there's that. But I've been having a lot of fun with the guys on libertariangaming.org, which I want to say we're partially brought to you by them as well, since I'm an admin over there now. But that said, it's... I'm doing this all on my own here. Yesterday was just so bad. I mean, I've got so many friends, and I had to do a purge. I had to get rid of a bunch of my old friends who were just nothing but solid bootlickers who didn't give a shit, if there was any kind of reason or evidence behind not supporting these veterans and these military monsters. I mean, do people really understand how destructive and dangerous these people are, and they're protecting the greatest country in the world, allegedly? I don't think we're the greatest country in the world, unless we're going to consider that as, we're the greatest country in the world. We're tops when it comes to incarcerations per capita. Don't think that's something we want to be top in. Or perhaps military spending. Or it's called defense spending, but we all know what that's fucking code for. We're topping that. We beat the next 24, 25. At least the next countries combined. That's also factoring in inflation. That's factoring in, the currency exchanges and all that kind of stuff. So what's the focus of this episode? Bootlicking and mindless nationalism. I have two fantastic books by my side here today. The Myth of National Defense by the great Hans Hermann Hoppe, and a most recent book, Against the State, an anarcho-capitalist manifesto by the great Lew Rockwell. I would have gone and pulled up some Murray Rothbard, but there's enough references in these guys to talk about. Murray Rothbard's got so much great work on just everything in general, and especially war, but trying to sift through, pages and pages and pages and pages and pages and pages of just awesome content just to bring you guys little one-line zingers. I didn't have the time for that. Okay, little backstory. Since last week, I've been running around. I've had concerts all weekend. I've had to do this performance. I had to record my sister's senior voice recital for college, which went very well, by the way. And if you guys are interested in hearing a great soprano voice, contact me, and I will make sure you get some of that video if you are so inclined. Also, kind of just want to put this little touch out here. Leave in the comments below any kind of silly crap that's happened to you in the last week when it comes to conversations, mindless militarism, mindless nationalism. Let's just compare notes here and see what's been going on for you guys over the last, however long. So let me know how that goes. But anyways, yesterday, I basically had to put social media down. Early in the morning, before I left work, I made a post about being pissed off at statists and so on. And I did my purge of eliminating a lot of statists from my friends list, because I'm trying to get more ANCAP and use, my ability to discriminate against those who I really don't want to have to hear from, who are just so far gone. There is no point in trying to talk them out of it. There is no point in trying to let them see reason. But these guys, I just had to drop them. But I went and then just started playing some Minecraft and then eventually some War Thunder with the guys over on Libertarian Gaming, and it really just made the whole day better. So big ups, big thank you to the guys at Libertarian Gaming, specifically Varys, Josh, Mankiller, Petter, he was on there for a while. All of you lovely guys, thanks a lot. And I know there's a few ladies. That's part of Libertarian Gaming as well. I never hear from you, never see from you ever on the TeamSpeak. But I'd imagine we'll hook up on the games at some point here in the future. Also, brief announcement. I know, sorry, stream of consciousness. I woke up early so I could do this, and then I have to go take a nap before I go to work today. Chuck, the Liberty Geek. I know he's had a long hiatus, and he's got a good reason for it. He will explain more on that when he comes back. But we are going to come together and do a show for libertariangaming.org here in the near future, hopefully within the next month or so. So you can see some extra gaming content from us. You can also watch the Atlantic Bromance at the Atlantic Bromance YouTube channel. Also, make sure to check out Liberty Geek here on this network. Check him out mostly every Fridays. He's been on a hiatus last 2-3 weeks, I think it is. But check the backlog. There is so many great episodes, some of which hosted by me, some of which co-hosted by me, interviewed of me, stuff like that. All kinds of fun shenanigans. Go and check it out. If you're not watching those shows, what is wrong with you? So, all right. Let's start with a little excerpt from Against the State, an Anarcho-Capitalist Manifesto. This comes from the introduction on why I'm an anarcho-capitalist. There are plenty of other reasons that the market, the area of voluntary interactions between individuals, deserves the benefit of the doubt over the state, and why we ought to assume the state is in. Why we ought not assume the state is indispensable without first seriously investigating to what degree human ingenuity and the economic harmonies of the market can get by without it. For instance, the state acquires its revenue by aggressing against peaceful individuals. The state encourages the public to believe there are two sets of moral rules. One set that we learn as children involving the abstention from violence and theft, and another set that applies only to government, which alone may aggress against peaceful individuals in all kinds of ways. The education system, which governments invariably use, come to dominate, encourages the people to consider the state's predation morally legitimate, and the world of voluntary exchange morally suspect. The government sector is dominated by concentrated interests that lobby for special benefits at the expense of the general public, while success in the private sector comes only by pleasing the general public. The desire to please organized pressure groups nearly always outweighs the desire to please people, who would most like to see government spending reduced. And most of those people, it turns out, want it reduced only marginally anyways. In the United States, the government judiciary has been churning out preposterous decisions that have little to no connection to original intent for more than 2 centuries. And finally, governments teach their subjects to wave flags and sing songs in their honor, thereby contributing to the idea that resisting its expropriations and enormities is treason. This is just a small list of a list that he says, quote, this list could go on indefinitely, of things that are blind nationalism, of things that the state pushes us to do. It requires us to go and, well, almost requires us to wave our fucking flags and rah, 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 go state, go state. You know, we don't need any sense. We don't need to think, oh, wait a minute, we're being stolen from. Oh, wait a minute, the people who died in World War I, in World War II, in Vietnam, Korea, this occupation in Iraq, this war on terrorism, all of them died for great reasons. They're noble heroes. They saved us. Without us, oh my God, we'd be speaking Al-Qaeda. Yeah, that's something I've heard in the last week. If it wasn't for our troops in Iraq, we'd be speaking Al-Qaeda. Not Arabic, Al-Qaeda. Where do these idiots come from? They come from the government schools. They come from this mindless beatdown of militarism. It comes from the idea that, you know, just because we happen to be one of the superpowers of the world, despite not being top ranked in almost anything except for war spending, and the fact that we continue to get ourselves in trouble by constantly bombing and destroying things, you know, I just don't get it. You know, where is the honor in being a murderer? I don't think there is any. anybody who has been in the military for any length of time, and yes, I know there are some volunteers and some anarchists who have gotten out of that system, and good for you. You've broken your programming of sorts. You've come out and you've gone against the system. Adam Kokesh has done this. He's done very well with this. There's probably several others. I know there's a bunch of friends here on Facebook that I'm not going to name names, but they've come, from a military background, and they know what they did is wrong. They know what they did is contributed to the death machine that is the U.S. military. Where is the justice? Where is the freedom for the children who lost their parents? Where is the freedom? Where is the justice for the kids whose arms get blown off? Where is the justice for those who, their freedom to go and live their life as they see fit in a peaceful way? Where's the freedom for that? You say, oh, they could just come here and get constantly frisked and looked at by, all these Southerners and, all these damn, just psycho nationalists. If you're not a cis white male, then, you're not worth a damn thing. That's sickening to me. The idea that we can go and just kill hundreds of thousands of people and not expect a backlash. The fact that we can go and break our Constitution fundamentally, if we're going to go with the status construct that, war is necessary, we're not even fucking doing that right. How are we going to expect a government who we are supposed to have control of? How are we going to play along with that if they're not even following their own fucking rules? It's really not all that difficult. To be honest, now that I'm looking at The Myth of National Defense by Hoppe, just go read this. I'm pretty sure there might be an audiobook out there somewhere for it. Go to the Mises website, download it as an ebook, go and purchase it like I did. I'm still working my way through it slowly. Why did I even break this out? Go read it. Go buy it. Or, hell, if you want my copy of it, send me an email at broadcast@gmail.com or send me a message on Facebook. I'll send it to you. Fuck it. I've got all the ebooks anyways, so I will send that book to you. Just give me your address and we'll work it out from there. Why did I do that? I don't know. I was in a mood to give stuff away, I guess. Yeah, I'm not giving away that. Fuck it. Sorry, a little scatterbrain today. So, all right, where does this enhanced militarism come from? Well, I think it comes from the history of just so many people telling these lies that, oh, the military does only good things, only honorable things. The military has protected us and given us our ability to speak all these damnations and all these horrible criticisms. As far as I can tell, and as far as the history that I've read, there would have been no chance for Germany to come and take us over. They couldn't even fucking make it through Europe. Now, I'm no military war buff. I don't know fuck all about that. I choose to avoid reading that so I can read more on economics. That's just my thing. But everything that I've read from every scholar ever, anywhere in the world at all, Germany would not have had the power to come here. We would not all be speaking German. It wouldn't have happened. We have people speaking German here because they perform in operas, like I did. We have people who speak German because that's just their national heritage. Great. Good for you. There's some fucking awesome beers and some great Oktoberfest festivals that come out of this. Awesome. Great. Lederhosen. Fucking love it. But to say that we would have been taken over by Hitler, such a far fucking stretch. How people can even get away with that argument is just beyond me. I don't understand. So let's do a quick Facebook check. I wonder if anybody is watching this. If you are watching this and you are in the comments section, let me know. On Liberationis Reipublicae page, I've got a friend of mine who just seems to like everything. Sir, if you are watching this, please comment underneath that post that I made. That way, if you have any questions about militarism, about nationalism, let me know. I want to answer your questions. I want to be somewhat of a voice of reason, I would think. Where did that go? Where's my link? I want to see if there's anybody talking to me in the chat here. And muted. No comments. figures. All right, there we are. Sorry about that, guys. So also, where does this militarism come from? It comes from the idea that, some people don't believe that they can be, profitable in the market. They're so beat down, and, some of them are so uneducated that they feel like the only thing they can do is go and thump their fucking chest, go and run 17,000 miles and carry rifles to go over to a sandy desert to kill people. Why is that necessary? What is the morality behind the military? There is no economic growth. There is no production except for death in the military. Is that something we really, really need to be supporting? Do we want to support a fucking death machine? Would we support fucking Putin going and releasing bears to kill people? Well, yes, I know, Russian joke. Ha 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 ha. Bears. Bears are funny with the little fucking hats. Those are. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. We would be appalled at people sending a military out to kill people, from another country. We would be appalled if Iraq went and just started bombing Afghanistan. Well, I mean, we would be, screaming to high heavens. And yet when we do it, it's okay. But my 9/11 happened. They all were trying to fucking kill us for our freedom. No. They tried to kill us, and not even us. They made one statement that happened to kill 3,000 people. Really sorry for those people and those families. That really fucking sucks. Believe me. I've got some friends of mine who lived out in New York at the time. They lost some loved ones. And it's just horrible. It's just the pain that you have to go through. But to go and to kill, well over 100,000, 200,000, I don't even know what the estimate is anymore of who's been killed in the Middle East. I can guarantee you that maybe we've killed 100 people who were actually, worth something. If you're going to believe that we needed to kill people to get revenge or to exact justice, we've killed we've killed those people. We've arrested those people. The other hundreds of thousands of deaths, not fucking worth it. You're killing a woman walking with a fucking pot on her head. And not even marijuana. It's a goddamn pot of water or food or something. Or children running and playing. People walking around with cameras. Or people who are going out hunting because they need their fucking food. Why? Why do we need that? And all this incessant bootlicking. Lawrence Vance, he is a great Christian libertarian, especially when it comes to the whole idea of, militarism. He is so outspoken. His book, War, Christianity, and the State, is so important. I actually gave that to my father. We'll see if he actually reads it. But where'd it go? There was. Here we go. There's a blog on the LouRockwell.com blog roll by Lawrence Vance. And here's the title. Questions for Christians who honor the military during church services. A Christian reader sends along these questions for those who believe we have the military to thank for our religious freedom or any other constitutional right, or that we should support evil by exalting and honoring the military in a church service. Number one, in these patriotic services, who has the preeminence, Christ or the state? That is such an important question, because if we're going to glorify the military, guess what? That's not worshiping God. That's not proclaiming Christ. You're asking people to bless these fucking murderers. Why? Look, okay, I get it. We want to wish blessings on all people. That's the Christian way, I guess, if you want to go with that route. But, the next question sums it up perfectly. Would we as a church honor a murderer or a serial killer in our church? How about an enforcer for the mob who tortures people to get information or responses out of them? Number three, would we, or should we even, bring a practicing Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, or atheist in front of their church for the people to thank, based solely on the grounds that they are or were currently in the military? Number four, give me one example of how religious freedom or any other constitutional guarantee was secured by the U.S. military invading a foreign country and intervening in its conflicts or affairs. How have the invasions of Korea, Vietnam, Panama, Colombia, Iraq twice, Somalia, Haiti, Bosnia, Serbia, Afghanistan, or any other country that posed no threat to the U.S. had anything to do with protecting our freedom? Number five, give me the name of one terrorist or terrorist organization that has stated specifically that their goal is to take away or destroy our constitutional freedoms of Americans, and not to grant end the aggressive interventionist foreign policy of the U.S. in the Middle East or any other parts of the world? I know the answer to that, number 5. There's fucking zero. There is not one single terrorist out there in the world who has ever said that they want to kill us because of our freedom. Not a single fucking one of them. It doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. All you goddamn bootlickers who think that's the case, grow up. Use your fucking brain. Use your head for something other than a hat rack for a fucking USA hat. Go out there and learn. Use the internet. This fucking thing that you sit on Facebook playing all these goddamn games. Use your fucking head. Go and do some research. Read some goddamn history. Go and talk to people who live in the Middle East. I've got friends here on Facebook who come from that region. And how many of them want to kill us because of our freedom? Not a single fucking one of them. They're sick and tired of the U.S. occupation. They're sick of the American imperialism. And I fucking agree with that. Now, guys, some of those people aren't even taking arms up against the U.S. because they know it's futile. Because they know that we'll destroy them. But peace is something that actually beats all. There's a great presentation by Stefan Molyneux on World War I. He posted that yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. I watched it yesterday. And he recounted that story from 1914, the Christmas Day time, where, this was during World War I, and these people, both sides stopped. They sang. They embraced each other. They played soccer. They ate together. And they tried to learn from each other. People who literally a day before or 2 days before were throwing bombs and shooting at each other and stabbing and killing each other and ripping each other's faces off or whatever it is that they were doing. However it is that they, made military conquest. These people engaged in peace. These people were sick of being the pawns in a fucking game of risk that has real life consequences. There were so many millions of people who have been affected by war, and these fucking bootlickers out here want more. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want none of that shit. Nope. I have a notification. What the fuck? No. Sorry, that's a random Facebook thing. Sorry about that, guys. So, where was I? These people came together for peace because they were tired of their commanders telling them that they need to kill each other. They understood that they were brothers, that they were humans, that they deserved to love and spend time together and not kill each other. Why is this imperialism? Why is this militarism such a huge fucking thing? Why does this nationalism even have to be a thing? Why can't we just be happy that we're all fucking human beings? Why can't we celebrate that fact? Why can't we celebrate the fact that we're not goddamn animals? Yes, there could be considered, two different types of people. There's a sociopath and evildoers. And then there's those of us who, we're not perfect, but we're good people. We're not out murdering people. We're not raping people. We're not trying to, lure some child into a dungeon or a basement or anything like that. We just want to love. And I just don't get it. Something else from Lawrence Vance. He was actually really happy when there was that Salon article talking about, why we shouldn't thank our veterans. This guy on Salon said, put a man in uniform, preferably a white man, give him a gun, and Americans will worship him. It's a particularly childish trait of a childlike culture that insists on anointing all active military members and police officers as heroes. My father, he was in the military. Was he a hero? Fuck no, he wasn't. My grandfather, he was in the military. Was he a hero? Fuck no, he wasn't. He went and killed. He is a murderer, straight up. Now, granted, he's the type, he's proud of that fact. He's proud that he had the brethren around him to be able to go out and just murder. I don't fucking get it. That's why I never want to spend time with him, almost ever. In amongst other reasons, which we can discuss on another day, not on this show. If you want to reach out to me on that, let me know. It's a painful thing to think about. But this mindless nationalism, where do you guys think it comes from? Sadly, I wasn't able to scrounge up a guest to talk about this because I really wanted to get Varys from Libertarian Gaming on for it. But Tell me what you guys think. Why are people so nationalistic? Why are people such bootlickers? Why do people think that the military is the greatest thing in the world, that you have to be honorable to be a part of it, despite the rampant sex and the rape, actually, despite the rampant murder that these people are engaged in, despite the many other unsavory activities that they get involved in? Why are these people the gold standard? Why aren't the CEOs of companies? Why aren't people like you and I who work on a daily basis and don't kill people ever on a daily basis? Why are we not the people who are, why are we the people who are voluntarily interacting with everybody we meet? Why is it that we are not the heroes? Why are we not exalted? I don't want to be fucking exalted, but why are we not celebrated? Why do we have, 20,000, military worshiping things, every fucking ball game, every fucking, any event that happens to involve somebody in the USA? It's so nationalistic and so sick. We also had that recent incident, well, not incident, Chris Bodie, spectacular jazz trumpetist. So good. Love his music. And, let's admit it, his playing of the national anthem, say what you will about the song, hate it if you want, he played it beautifully. The music itself is gorgeous. The message, horrendous. It's a murder cult. But the music was beautiful, and Reggie Wayne of the Indianapolis Colts, which is a team I actually enjoy to watch, it's my favorite team, actually, he broke down and cried. Was it because of the emotional aspect of the music? Was it because of the military thought behind it? I don't know, and I don't care. But, seeing all this blind nationalism, all these flags waving and all this makes no fucking sense to me. I mean, I'm just so clueless. When I was young, I was in the middle of a church service where we were doing the 4th of July church service, and we were singing for it, and, the whole bunch of this America fuck yeah type chanting and singing and whatnot. And I just stopped and thought, what are we doing? These people go out and die or kill. God says specifically in the 10 Commandments, do not murder. And we're supporting these fucking murderers. That's about as ungodly as it gets, I think. So, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be checking back on this later on in the week. This Friday, I will be doing a Recline Rob. I found him through libertariangaming.org as well. It's frankly where a lot of my guests are coming from nowadays. He and I play Minecraft a lot together. He's just got an interesting story to tell you of his origin into voluntarism. That's really what I like to do here. I like to tell people stories because I think a lot of people understand the anarchist perspective, at least on the bare level when it comes to the non-aggression principle, if you actually stop and ask us. And a lot of people understand that we don't have all the answers, but there are some of us who have a lot of them. If you want to know, who's going to build the roads or who's going to be in charge of the DROs or this, that, or the other thing, talk to fucking Robert. I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want to deal with the who's, whys, and hows of how the market's going to solve things. Because frankly, I'm not worried about it. I don't care. As long as it's not coercive and it's all voluntary, bring it on. I'm willing to see what happens. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is on those types of things. But Robert, he's just got a great story. Rob, I'll call him. Robert Kruger is who you're going to go to for those types of questions. So if you've got any questions about this guy's history, let me know. We will be recording this on Friday, so come to me with your questions beforehand. Or if you have any idea for content, let me know in the description bar below or in the comments below. Shoot me an email at broadcast@gmail.com. Send me a Facebook message at Liberationis Reipublicae. Maybe direct message me here on YouTube, youtube.com/Liberate the Republic. There's so many ways you can get a hold of me. If you know somebody who knows my show, they know how to get a hold of me. He'll find me. This will be Adam Broad of Liberationis Reipublicae saying peace and love and liberty. Stop fucking murdering each other. Stop waving your goddamn flags. Quit being goddamn retards. Stop being so militaristic. Let's have some peace, y'all. And I'll catch you guys next week with the show with Robert. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.